So in today's video, I'm going to be making art on 5x5 canvases to sell for $5. And I'm starting an Etsy to sell things, and this is just getting it done. Because it's something I've wanted to do for a while, but I just haven't done it. Whenever it comes to selling my art, I always freeze up and panic that nobody's gonna buy it, and then I don't promote it and then nobody buys it. So this is me being like, okay, hey, just post it somewhere where people can buy it. If you're interested in any of the pieces that I make today, link to my store will be down below. Let's get painting. When making this art series, I didn't have a clear objective for all of the paintings, but later I fell into a stride and I wanted to use each chakra as a color palette. So this one is my first one. I wanted a cool complementary color, blue and orange, but the yellow that I added made it green. So this is my green color palette, and I used my vortex technique, and it turned out to look like the Coraline portal, which I think is really cool. But the green represents the heart chakra. So that's what I have here. For painting number 2, this is kind of a light, airy purple. So this is the crown chakra. I wanted it to have a spring vibe when I was painting it. I was like, you know what would look cool? A poppy outline. And there's somebody I follow on Instagram who does really beautiful prints, and I was kind of emulating her style in this. I didn't quite get it right. The earlier variations I liked better, but I think it turned out pretty cool. I'm happy with this. For painting number 3, I used a very warm orange and red color palette. This chakra is the power center, so your stomach, sacral, root, all of that stuff. I painted mountains. I was very much inspired by this person that I found on Redbubble who has these amazing texture collages, scenery. I'll leave a picture here. I fell in love with her stuff. So the color palette, I used a similar one when I painted on my iPad. I love how this one turned out. I really like the color of the sun here, but I hated the composition so much, so you'll see later I change it. But here I'm just trying to use texture, breaking it up a bit with the gray outlining, putting in light and shadows in the mountains. I actually really like how the sun turned out here when I wiped it off. Had a really beautiful texture, but I like how it turned out here as well. In the end, it turned out fine. For painting number 4, I spilled a lot of blue paint on my palette, so I was like, you know what, why not use it? It has a very similar color palette to my previous painting video, linked here. Yeah, I was kind of struggling to come up with a concept for this one. I decided instead of soft circular vortex pattern to go like strong, like hexagon, angular. And I couldn't quite get the perspective right, but it's supposed to be a walkway to the middle of this vortex. The blue color is for the throat chakra, communication. The name of this paint came up with is to become like gods. And we have this little glowing portal, and I'm attempting to draw people. It didn't work out, so I had to restart. And the subjects are later represented by these glowing dots, and to the left you can see there's even fainter dots. It just tells a progressionary story about becoming like God, becoming glorious yourself, if that makes sense. That's what I wanted to accomplish with this painting. I had this idea of painting a floating tree with roots dangling from its clump of dirt. This one's kind of inspired by the root chakra. This light form tree being unrooted and trying to find space. That's kind of what this painting is for me. Hello and welcome to the outro. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this series, and I hope that this will put me on a path of doing what I love, which is just making art that I want to make and then selling it and sending it on to somebody else who loves it. Please check out my Etsy store. Brand new. This is the only thing on it so far, but soon to be many more. Just thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, and if you're new, subscribe. This was just a fun, short, sweet, simple little video that I wanted to do. I'm excited because I feel like I finally have my video style kind of figured out, and I'm just excited to make more. So if this kind of content interests you, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you, and see you next week. Love you guys.